the reorganization meeting of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders will please come to order. Notice of this meeting, pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-10, has been complied with and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our newly elected freeholders, Ronald Rios, Mildred Scott, and newly appointed freeholder Carol Barrett, escorted by freeholders Stephen Delina, H. James Polos, Christopher Rafano, and Blanquita Valenti, along with the Colonel D.B. Kelly pipes and drums. Please rise as the color guard of the Middlesex County Sheriff's Office and the Middlesex County Department of Corrections present the colors and remain standing for the flag salute, national anthem, and invocation.
Color guard! All one! Forward! Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left. Color guard, hold! Set, hey! Ready, hold! Present, prepare, hold!
Please join former freeholder Camille Fernicola, who will lead us in the salute to the flag of our country.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please welcome Kathleen Campbell, who will sing the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched and the rockets rent the air, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order! Halt! Ready! Halt! Color guard, center! Center! Face! Color guard, forward! 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 And right, left! And right, left! And right, left!
It is my pleasure to introduce Reverend James McGuffey, Administrator of St. Joseph Parish, Carteret, who will offer the invocation.
Creator of all that is good and righteous and just, accept our thanks for this day and all of its blessings. We ask you to guide and direct our freeholders, that may serve well in their responsibility to our community. Bless Ron Rios, Mildred Scott, and Carol Barrett. We especially ask your blessings on Dave Craybill of recent passing, who served us so well and so long. Bless their time here today as they keep in mind the enduring values of faith, which guide them in all they do. We pray that our freeholders are blessed in the opportunities and challenges they face in rendering service to their fellow citizens and to their community. Let them continue to strive to make this a better world. Amen.
You may be seated. Please welcome the assignment judge of the Superior Court for the Middlesex Vicinage, the Honorable Travis Francis, for remarks.
Thank you, Margaret. Congratulations to the newly elected freeholders, Millie Scott, Ron Rios. And congratulations to the newly appointed freeholder from my town, South Brunswick, Carol Barrett. And congratulations to the new soon-to-be appointed freeholder director and deputy director. The courts of Middlesex County and the Board of Freeholders have maintained a long-standing cooperative working relationship which is inured to the benefit of the citizens of Middlesex County. Middlesex County has seen the renovation of its main courthouse on Baird Street and the near completion of the family courthouse on New Street. The success of these projects was the result of the dedication and commitment of the Board of Chosen Freeholders under the leadership at that time of David Craybill. The Middlesex County Sheriff's Department represents the highest quality and caliber of officer, and at times with challenging resources provides an unsurpassed level of protection to all of our judges. Although we represent separate branches of government with separate and distinct constitutional responsibilities, we share a common constituency, namely the state of New Jersey and the citizens of Middlesex County, respectively. We also share a common goal, which is to employ our individual instrumentalities to protect the quality of life and the interest of justice of the commonweal. The legislative branch of government creates the laws which the executive branch enforces, and we in the judicial branch interpret to ensure that the constitutional principles that these freeholders will shortly swear to uphold and protect and are not compromised. Our three branches of government work remarkably well here in Middlesex County. They are designed to certainly clang against each other, but the resulting noise is the noise of democracy at work. So again, I congratulate all of you newly elected freeholders, all of you existing freeholders, as you continue to serve, in the words of Dave Crabeel, the best county and courts in the land. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Francis. In the absence of County Clerk Elaine Flynn, Sandra Benny, Deputy County Clerk, will read the certification of election for the members of the Board of Chosen Freeholders.
State of New Jersey, County of Middlesex. A statement of the determination of the Board of County Canvassers relative to an election held in the County of Middlesex on the 4th day of November in the year of our Lord 2008 for the election of freeholder. The said board did determine that at the said election, Ronald G. Reyes and Mildred S. Scott were duly elected as members of the Board of Chosen Freeholders for the County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey. Elaine Flynn, Middlesex County Clerk, hereby certifies that the foregoing is a true, full, and correct statement of the determination of the Board of County Canvassers as filed in the office of the County Clerk of Middlesex. In witness whereof she has hereunto set her name, her hand, this 7th day of November in the year of our Lord 2008. Signed and certified by Elaine M. Flynn, Middlesex County Clerk. Congratulations. Thank you. And congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
At this time, I will read a letter from Chairman Joseph Spicuzzo of the Middlesex County Democratic Organization addressed to County Clerk Elaine M. Flynn. Dear Mrs. Flynn, this will serve to certify that in conformance with NJSA 19:13-20, the Middlesex County Democratic Organization has selected the following individual to fill the unexpired term of freeholder David B. Crabeel. Carol Barrett, 1513 Mahogany Court, Monmouth Junction, New Jersey. This will further certify that Ms. Barrett is qualified under the laws of the state of New Jersey to be a candidate for the office of Middlesex County Freeholder, and she is a member of the Democratic Party. Attached hereto is a certification from Carol Barrett as required by NJSA 19:13-20, signed by Joseph Spicuzzo, Chairman. I would like to thank the Crabeel family for allowing us to use Freeholder Director Crabeel's Bible today. We are honored to include something that meant so much to him in today's ceremony. At this time, I would like to call upon Freeholder-elect Ronald G. Rios of the Borough of Carteret to be sworn in as a member of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders. I call upon the Honorable Alan Comba, Judge of the Municipal Court in the Borough of Carteret, to administer the oath of office. Holding the Bible for Freeholder-elect Rios are his wife, Mickey, daughters Sandra Bourbon and Jennifer Rios, and granddaughters Natalie and Gianna Bourbon. Please come forward.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Ronald G. Rios,
I, Ronald G. Rios,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority
under the authority
of the people,
of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
all the duties
of Middlesex County Freeholder
of Middlesex County Freeholder
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Ron?
Thank you, Judge. Reverend clergy, members of the judiciary, my freeholder colleagues, all elected officials, everyone in attendance, welcome. And I thank you for coming here today. I'd like to thank everyone that helped on the campaign, the Democratic Party for their support, and the voters that elected me. As an elected official, it takes a lot of time and hard work to be effective. I, as an elected official, am very honored and humbled to hold this prestigious position and will be forever grateful for the opportunity to serve. I am very fortunate for my wife, Mickey, my daughters, Sandra and Jennifer, my son-in-law, Joe, and my special loves, my granddaughters, Natalie and Gianna, who have supported me while I served Carteret and as a freeholder. To them, I say thank you. 10 months ago to the day, on March 6th, I took the same oath of office. I was welcomed to the Freeholder Board by my colleagues, and I thank them for their assistance and support. I'd also like to thank Margaret Pemberton and John Polomina for their support. I also welcome our new freeholders, Millie Scott and Carol Barrett. I had the distinct honor to serve with a gentleman, a true gentleman, who was a tireless public servant. He was my friend and my mentor. I will strive to serve with the same passion and commitment that David B. Crabiel demonstrated throughout his political career. He will be forever missed. And to the Crabiel family, I thank you for David B. Crabiel. 2008 was a great year where we had many accomplishments. We were able to preserve more open space. We applied for and received more grants that allowed us to provide more services for the residents. We had the groundbreaking for our new 180-bed long-term care facility in Old Bridge. Our county college and vocational schools have flourished. My pet project, the Teen Safe Driving Initiative, Drive Safe for the Ride of Your Life, that was instituted through the vocational schools, to name a few. Educating more of our youth has to be a priority by everyone. JFK once said, and I quote, "A child miseducated is a child lost." I challenge all educators, all parents, and all elected officials to make an extra effort on promoting higher education, whether it's a college or a trade school. To those kids that are unsure of their future plans, I can assure you I will do my part so no child is lost under our watch. 2009 will be a challenging year, but I am confident that we as a team are up to the task. We can make a difference. I want to continue to make our county a great place to live, work, play, and raise a family, and be the greatest county in the land. Thank you. May God bless Middlesex County, and may God bless America. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to call upon Freeholder-elect Mildred Scott of the Township of Piscataway to be sworn in as a member of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders. I call upon the Honorable Lorraine Pullen, Judge of the Superior Court, to administer the oath of office. Holding the Bible for Freeholder-elect Scott are her husband, Richard Scott, brother Nate Hutchins, joined by daughters Chanel McCullum and Cheryl Scott, son Ivan Scott, granddaughters Alexis McCullum, Armani Scott, Elise Wright, and grandsons Richard Wright and Larry McCullum.
Richie? Nellie, repeat after me. I, Mildred S. Scott, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States and in this state,
established in the United States and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties
of
Middlesex County Freeholder
Middlesex County Freeholder
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
When she gets finished, we'll sign this document.
Mildred S. Scott. I want to thank my friend Lorraine, the Honorable Lorraine Pullen, for taking her time to swear me in as a freeholder in Middlesex County. Thank you very much. Freeholder colleagues, members of the clergy, judiciary, constitutional officers, county officials, family and friends, good afternoon. I want to thank my mother, Gertrude Lincoln, who could not be here today. She came down this morning with the virus, and I want to thank her for the years of guidance. I want to thank my husband, Richard, for his continued years of support. My three children, Chanel, Ivan, and Cheryl, you are the greatest. My three granddaughters, Alexis, Armani, and Elise, they were the reasons that I retired from the Middlesex County Sheriff's Department in 1995. I actually hung up my gun and strapped in baby bottles. They gave me a reason for a new chapter in my life in the field of politics. To my grandsons, Richard and Larry, and my other grandchildren that could not be here, and to all the young people, I want to say, strive for the top of the mountain. I'm very honored and proud today to stand here as a newly elected freeholder. This is a very historical year. The country has elected Barack Obama as the first African-American president,
and you in Middlesex County have elected me as the first African-American freeholder. I want to thank the Middlesex County Democratic Party for recognizing my ability and my desire to become a good freeholder. I also want to thank the many voters, the thousands of voters that this past November voted for me and put their trust in me. I have always felt that becoming an elected official is not only an honor, but a privilege, and should never be taken lightly. The coming year, according to all reports, will prove to be a difficult economic year and surely a very challenging one for all of us. I feel confident, however, that I am well prepared to meet these challenges and accept whatever responsibilities come my way as a freeholder. I look forward to the days ahead with resolve, determination, and commitment. Throughout the campaign, I have often spoken about the hard-working, dedicated, proactive freeholder board that we have in Middlesex County. They work tirelessly to give our residents some of the best services available, while at the same time, they work hard to keep taxes stable. The county department heads and employees are also a very important part of the team, and I thank them for their service. As a freeholder, when working with my colleagues, department heads, and other employees, in order to continue long-term vision that the Freeholder Board has put in place, I will draw on my 28 years of experience as a former county employee as chief of the Middlesex County Sheriff's Department and my 12 years as a Piscataway Democratic Councilwoman in order to continue to provide good, stable government. I congratulate my running mate, Ronald Rios, a hardworking, dedicated public servant. And also congratulations to Carol Barrett on her appointment to the Board of Freeholders. I have known Carol Barrett for quite a few years, and Carol has always been a dedicated employee. I look forward to working with both of them. This is a happy occasion for me, but also a sad one. It was such a great honor for me to be a running mate alongside of freeholder Dave Craviel, who mentored me during the recent campaign. I am saddened that I will not have the opportunity to work side by side with him as a freeholder. Through his many years in county government, I know he shared his vast knowledge and wealth of information with freeholders, department heads, and so many others. He left us with a legacy of commitment to make certain we continue to keep Middlesex County the greatest county in the land. And I know we have every intention of doing just exactly that. I want to thank you, Margaret, for what you do for all of us. Thank you very much. I want to thank my family that could not be here, my extended family that is here, and the Freeholder Board and everyone else is here. Thank you for what you've done for me in the past year and the past years to come. And I want to say happy and healthy New Year to everyone. Thank you, and God bless.
At this time, I would like to call upon newly appointed freeholder Carol Barrett of South Brunswick Township to be sworn in as a member of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders. I call upon the Honorable Todd Mayo, Chief Judge of the East Brunswick Municipal Court, to administer the oath. Holding the Bible for freeholder-elect Barrett is her son Charlie. They are joined by Mary Varga Crabiel and Paulette Crabiel Waller.
Okay, Charlie, you want to hold the Bible?
Yeah.
I want you all to hold the Bible. All three.
Okay. Left hand on the Bible, right hand in the air.
How am I going to do? It's like this.
Okay, you ready? Repeat after me.
All right.
I, Carol Barrett,
I, Carol Barrett,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of New Jersey.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
I
will bear true faith
will bear true faith and allegiance and the same. Thank you.
and to the governments established
And the governments established
in the United
in
States
the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties
all the duties
of Middlesex County Freeholder
of Middlesex County Freeholder
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. All right, Mrs. Barrett, come on over here and sign away. Congratulations.
I hope I can get the words out. First of all, I would like to thank my son Charlie. He has always been there with me, and we had a tough haul, but we made it, honey. And to my future daughter-in-law, Jody, who has changed my son tremendously, and she's a welcome addition to our family. To my family, Maria and Joe Fiorino, to my new cousin, Kathy Killian, and to my cousin, Frank Brown. Thank you for being always there for me. I want to thank my mom and dad. Although they're not here, they are with me in spirit. And if any of you have ever known my mother, she would have been having a great time today with this. I'm not so sure about my father, but my mother would be having a lot of fun. And I want to thank my adopted family, Chris, Carly, Charlie Carly, my granddaughter Katie, and Patrick. They took me into their family and have treated me like I was family. I have never felt like an outside. They have brought great warmth and happiness into my life. To my union sisters and brothers, I thank you. You are in my heart and in my thoughts always. To all my friends, and it would be hard to name everyone because probably almost everyone in this room is a friend. All my county employees that I worked with for so many years. And to Jan, my neighbor, who has become one of my best friends, who has listened to my problems and woes. We've drank some coffee together and discussed what I should do, and she was never judgmental. I love you, Jan. I don't know where you're at. Where are you? Oh, okay. All right. I was looking, I couldn't see you. And to my South Brunswick colleagues, Mayor Frank Gambatese. Thank you, Mayor. Chris Kilmurray, Joe Camerata,
and Charlie Carley. All of you made this possible. A special thanks to Bernie Hostovic, our South Brunswick chair. Thank you, Bernie. And I just have to say one thing. I guess it was probably around 1975, Todd. Todd and my son were friends. Would you have ever thought this would be a day that you would? No. You're proud. I'm proud. You guys did a great job, despite yourselves. This has been a dream for many years for me, but it was not an easy decision to make. It was a very hard decision. I had to give up my position in South Brunswick, leave a job that I loved dearly. I was sitting at the table with my son and we were discussing what I should do. And my son told me that he thought that Dave Crabiel would want me to do this and that he would be happy if I did it. And him saying that made me make the decision to go for it. And Paulette, I'm probably telling it something that I promised I wouldn't tell. I know that you said the same thing, that your daddy would be happy about this selection. And I think so too. I know that Dave is looking down at us today. With that in mind, I will do the best job that I can. I certainly cannot take the chance that Dave will scream at me, because you all know that he could do that. I want to wish all of you a happy, healthy new year, and I look forward to this new challenge, working with you and for you. Thank you very much.
I will now call the roll for this reorganization meeting. Freeholder Barrett? Here. Freeholder Delina? Here. Freeholder Polos? Here. Freeholder Rafano?
Here.
Freeholder Rios?
Here.
Freeholder Scott?
Here.
Freeholder Valenti?
Here.
We will now entertain a motion to nominate the director of this board for the year 2009. I recognize Freeholder H. James Polos.
Thank you, Margaret. Members of the dais, fellow colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, welcome and good afternoon. It is my honor today to enter the name of one of my colleagues in to serve as director of this great board of freeholders. Over the years, I've likened the operation of county government much like the operation of a ship out in the open sea. It takes more than one individual in order for that ship to ply through the waters safely. The ship often encounters stormy weather, sometimes sunny days. The seas can be rough, they can be very calm. But you need a competent crew, you need a good captain, and you need everyone to pull their weight in order for that ship to make it safely from one harbor to the next. Over the years, we have become very comforted by the fact that we had a wonderful captain at the helm. And one morning, unfortunately, we woke up and recognized the untimely loss of that captain on the deck. When David left this earth, we realized that we not only lost a friend, a colleague, a family member, a trusted person, but we lost the captain of our ship. But he trained us very, very well over the years and always wanted government to operate notwithstanding any one individual. In fact, when we were talking about having a meeting one night, some of my colleagues and I were discussing, do we have the meeting or don't we? And some said we shouldn't, and some said we should, and I think about it now in hindsight and realize that those that said that we should were right. It's something Dave would have wanted. Government moves on. The ship continues in the water. Well, our captain always knew that as he was on that deck, he had the steady hand and conscious and conscientious capability of an assistant captain. His deputy director, who served ably with him for so many years, 13 years in fact. And Dave always knew that he could count on Pete DeLina when he needed it. When the weather was tough and the storm was there and the seas began to roll, it took often more than one set of hands on that trusted wheel to make sure that the ship continued in the right direction. And we have become somewhat accustomed to that over the years as well, knowing that Pete was always in that position, in that second spot, ready to go. Certainly wasn't something that was expected and something that was a very tough situation for all of us to accept with Dave. But we knew at that moment thereafter that Pete was certainly going to be the right person to be able to move into that position with his experience, his knowledge, his capabilities. And you know, we often chided Pete over the years about the second ward and the employees from Fords and so forth, and that often became a joke. But I'll tell you something. Initially I would laugh, and then I would sit back and I would learn. And I would learn because it told a story about a man that never forgot about his roots and where he came from. And he didn't do it at the expense of the rest of the county, but always remembered where he was and where he was grounded to. And we should be complimentary to him and remember that we could learn from that experience. He's a seasoned professional politician and statesman. He has done so much in this county over the years, and he deserves the credit for what he's accomplished. You see the expansion of our park systems from 12 to 19 parks, the preservation of 7,000 acres of open space now under his direction and control. His new cutting-edge ideas with a hybrid force of park ranger fleet, something new, green technology. The introduction of park rangers to patrol our parks and make sure that they're safe for our residents. The expansion in our Cultural and Heritage Commission with the Cornelius Lowe House, with the new Eastern Old Town Village that was open to the public a number of years ago. They even received a Congressional Legacy Award for the work that was done in cultural and heritage affairs, all under the direction of Pete DeLina, who was in charge of parks and the Cultural and Heritage Commission. He's done a lot to make sure that Middlesex County is a great place to live in. You know, when we talk about a greatest county in the land, there are a lot of elements and facets to that. Certainly the work that Pete has done is something that we need to recognize and appreciate. And thanks to him and thanks to all those great people from Woodbridge who work with us, we have a wonderful park system that we can be proud of, something that opens up our opportunities and our eyes for our children to recreate, enjoy natural habitats, and be able to enjoy the wonders of Middlesex County. That's what Pete DeLina has been busy doing over the years. And he started out in Woodbridge as a councilman for 12 years. He worked in many, many different organizations, from youth leagues to the Lions Club to the Hungarian Club. This is a person who's been very dedicated to his community, but also never lost sight of the fact, and this is very important, of his family. Married to the beautiful Eleanor for 51 years, beautiful sons, 6 great-grandchildren. He has done it all, and he deserves so much credit for accomplishing so much. You know, a lot of people say that no person can give a richer or more generous gift than a precious part of a precious lifetime. Pete certainly has done that to his town, to his family, and certainly to this county, and it's why I would love to submit his name to this Board of Freeholders as director of our board.
The name of freeholder Stephen J. DeLina has been placed in nomination for director by Freeholder Polos. I now recognize freeholder Christopher Rafano.
Welcome and good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to second the nomination of Stephen J. Pete DeLina as Freeholder Director for 2009. You know, this is a joyful occasion for Pete and his family. He has literally devoted his entire adult life to public service and all our residents can rest assured that our new Freeholder Director will continue to make Middlesex County the model of efficient and responsive government. However, all of us today feel a sense of loss. When you say the words Freeholder Director, you immediately think about Dave Crabule. But I know, and we all know, that Dave is looking down on us today and smiling. Pete and Dave were very close friends, Pete by his side for so many years as a freeholder and deputy director. He, more than any other member of the board, has the knowledge and experience to continue to carry out Dave Crabule's legacy. Pete's love of family and his commitment to serving the people of Middlesex County is evidenced in the quantity and quality of our county park system and its recreational opportunities. In his tenure on the Board of Chosen Freeholders, our park system has expanded from 12 to 19 outstanding parks. This year, we will welcome the county's 20th park. Our level playing fields complex in Roosevelt Park, which he conceived as a way to serve residents of all abilities, has been recognized nationwide. Ladies and gentlemen, I stand here before you to enthusiastically second the nomination of Stephen J. Pete DeLina for Freeholder Director. Pete, you've been an outstanding public servant, more importantly, a great friend. I look forward to working with you as we take Middlesex County into the new year. Thank you.
A motion has been made and seconded to nominate Freeholder Stephen J. DeLina as Director of the Board. Are there any other nominations? I declare the nominations closed. I will now call the roll for the election of Freeholder Stephen J. DeLina as Director for the year 2009. Freeholder Barrett?
Yes.
Freeholder DeLina?
Yes.
Freeholder Polos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Please join me in a round of applause to welcome the Director of this Board of Chosen Freeholders for the year 2009, Freeholder Stephen J. DeLina of the Township of Woodbridge. Holding the Bible for Freeholder Director DeLina are his wife Eleanor and members of the DeLina family. I will now ask the Honorable Travis Francis, Assignment Judge of the Superior Court, to administer the oath of office to Freeholder Director DeLina. Joining Judge Francis is the Honorable Alan A. Rockoff, retired Judge of the Superior Court.
Steve. On this side. You hold the Bible. Now, the left hand of the Bible, right?
Hold on. Director DeLina, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you, Judge.
And ladies and gentlemen, Director DeLina gets two judges. One, because there's a time-honored tradition that the Freeholder Director is sworn in by the assignment judge. But it would be remiss on my part not to not recognize and acknowledge the relationship that has existed for so many years between you and retired Judge Rockoff. So I've been given permission by Ms. Pemberton to give Judge Rockoff 30 seconds.
I can't tie my shoes in 30 seconds. But I do have to tell you one story about Pete. I was told by Margaret that Judge Francis would be doing the honors today, and I acknowledge that. And I was going to stand in the back of the room somewhere with glasses on and a hat and try to stay incognito, but be here, because I am the oldest good luck charm outside of the Egyptian mummy's charms that exist today, and I am Pete's good luck charm. I've been here for every one of his swearing-ins. I've been with Pete since his days in Woodbridge, in the 2nd Ward. And I've known him, and I've known the family, and I've watched them grow, and I've seen Ricky many, many times socially. And to me, it is the greatest honor in the world for me to be here today. But I'm going to take one more second and tell you that if it wasn't for Pete's telephone call to me saying, Alan, please be there with me, I'd be in the back of the room with the glasses on. So thank you very much, Pete, for that honor.
Left hand on the Bible. Raise your right. I, Stephen J. Delina,
I, Stephen J. Delina,
do solemnly swear
swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of New Jersey.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the government established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people.
and that I will faithfully,
Impartially,
impartially, and justly
and justly
perform all of the duties
perform all the duties
of the office
of the office
of Director,
of the Director
County Board of Chosen Freeholders,
of the Middlesex Board of Freeholders,
according to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Pete, I just need you to sign this.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay,
I owe you one.
No problem.
You guys do all right?
You did great. I said you still didn't get it right. We'll be here next time when you get it right.
I got to practice.
You're bigger now.
I know. Okay.
Get someone?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I missed one. Thank you. I just want to thank the judges for swearing me in. I'll serve another year. If you want to serve me another 20 years, let me know. I'm available. My distinguished freeholder colleagues, members of the clergy, the judges, county officials, and staff, friends, residents, thank you for being here today. Each January, county government, along with many other municipality governments, come together to reorganize the governing body, to reestablish priorities, to introduce new members to the public to serve, and rare instances, to remember and honor past colleagues that no longer serve. I am honored and humbled to have the opportunity to lead our county government. And while I'm truly deeply saddened by the incredible loss of our longtime freeholder director, Dave Crabill, a very good friend of mine, I hope to lead this county in a manner much as the way he did, with a strong commitment to always do the right thing for the taxpayers of Middlesex County, and to continue to provide quality services, programs to our 700,000 residents. And Dave was always proud that we are #1 now in the state of New Jersey, Middlesex County. Dave Crabill had a passion for county government and commitment to honesty, integrity, and always kept costs as reasonable as possible. I want to lead this county the very same way. And quote Dave Crabill, make sure Middlesex County remains the greatest county in the land. I don't know if I could truly replace Dave. No one can. But we as a team of elected officials, county department heads, county employees will be committed to work to provide the best government we can afford. Our taxpayers deserve nothing than less to have taxpayers pay less taxes. This is the big factor today. To my wife, Eleanor, of 57 years, and children Gary, John, Rick, and Stephen, we in the Delina family have given much public service over the years. I have served on this Freeholder Board for 7 terms, 20 years. I've been the Deputy Director for the last 9 years, and I'm ready to work even harder to make sure that we keep on track on our duties any time that we need me, I'll be available. I'm not the youngest. I was 20 years ago, but my experience and knowledge of county government will help greatly in these challenging times. And I hope to be stabilizing influence as well. So for a Hungarian kid that was born in Caseby and spent his whole life in Forge and Woodbridge, I will be proud to serve as Freeholder Director. Dave Craigle's legacy is visible in every corner of our county, in every municipality and township, in every park and recreational area, and every service program offered by the county government. I will continue to oversee parks, cultural heritage, and will expand my duties broader to oversight involvements. And my goal not to continue Dave's legacy, but to expand these initiatives and programs that are already underway, to bolster the funds, services that we as county government must provide, and to identify the funds that those programs to provide a future generation for Middlesex County residents. Not starting the bleak news that happened, Middlesex County is well positioned as we move along in 2009. While the years ahead of us holds many unforeseen challenges, I am confident that we will continue to be vigilant in the way we serve Middlesex County and plan investments for the future. We manage the best and most aggressive open space preservation programs in the state. We have preserved nearly 7,000 acres undeveloped and environmentally sensitive land, county land, including more than 590 acres preserved in 2008 alone. There is another 1,000 plus acres already under evaluation for future purchases. I will intend to expand our portfolio of open space. Given the economy mandate for the state, dwindling revenue sources, shared services stand as a priority to us. The Board of Chosen Freeholders will work with all of us, with our municipalities, neighboring counties, and the state to identify potential areas where we could reduce costs and save dollars by sharing government services, programs, and resources. We must do everything we can to tighten our belts and yet again to make sure we reduce any impact to our taxpayer. This challenge becomes more difficult each year, but it is a commitment we must make. As for our budget, I want to work to make sure that we have quality infrastructure projects, roads, bridges, parks ready to go. It is our federal or state government want to move on a stimulus package. We need to be ready with projects that will make all our county even stronger. One thing we know, this will be a difficult year. The financial crisis that impacts our county will certainly impact our country. We know that our state residents are already taxed enough. So at these times, we must practice budget restraint, control spending wherever possible. We have a well-managed county government that provides service to our residents. We have developed a partnership that maintains the check and balances to our separate branches of government. While the accomplishments are best for the taxpayer and corporate citizens, my mission is, as a Freeholder Director, to remind twofold, to provide and to care those county residents who need our assistance, and to ensure the taxpayer dollars are used for the services that our county residents require. I want to welcome our 3 new elected freeholders, Ron Rijos, Millie Scott, and Carol Barrett. We have 7 great freeholders. I can tell you that this is going to be a great year for us. We extend our best wishes to the newly elected President Obama. May he face these massive changes in a manner that makes all of us proud to be an American. To my wife, Eleanor, after 57 years I'm married, and probably throughout the year it get easier, I hope. Thank you for always being there for me and our entire family. And it goes to say that Dave Crabiel is, in some way, part of each of us, and is now up to us board, Chosen Freeholders, to continue moving forward and to continue the Craybill legacy of keeping Middlesex the greatest county in the land. God bless you. Just a few. I recognize Freeholder Paulus for a motion to spread the minutes of the message upon the minutes of this meeting.
I so move.
Second.
Okay. All right, everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? Okay. Well, nobody said nothing, so we can't wait too long. I know everybody wants to get home before it snows, don't worry. Okay. We will now entertain a motion to nominate the Deputy Director of the Board of Chosen Freeholders for 2009. I recognize Freeholder Blanquita Valenti.
Hearty congratulations to you, Freeholder Director. Reverend clergy, honorable judges, elected officials, my fellow freeholders, dignitaries, county staff, and dear friends and fellow Democrats. Today, a new leaf is turned in our county government, as you have witnessed. Our beloved Dean and dear friend, Director Craybill, is not with us. He has been greatly missed, and we will never forget him. It gives me a great deal of pride to stand before you and put the name of the Honorable Christopher Rafano, a man of great substance, dignity, and dedication, into nomination for Deputy Director of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of Middlesex County. I was so honored and elated when Chris asked me to nominate him today. He's a colleague for whom I have the greatest respect and admiration. Freeholder Rafano has been a freeholder for 11 years, having served as a councilman in South River for 5 years and serving as council president for one of those years. Chris is a graduate of Villanova University, like his dad, Bob, and my husband, Carl. And like them, he continued on to law school, having graduated from Dickinson School of Law in 1985. He's a partner in the Rafano and Wood Law Firm in South River, where he lives with his wife, Donna, and their 2 boys, Andrew and Brian. As a freeholder, Chris has distinguished himself in many areas. He's accomplished many goals. And since 1988, he has been the chairperson of the Committee of Law and Public Safety for Middlesex County. He has received a number of awards and commendations from various groups, such as the International Association of Firefighters, for his support of excellent programs and making the Fire Academy a state-of-the-art facility. He has also taken advantage of new technology for a more secure corrections center and has updated our Homeland Security efforts, receiving additional funds for our county. And he received a certificate from the Attorney General of New Jersey for creating an innovative approach to Homeland Security. Recently, Chris was one of 15 members of a panel that studied, it was a commission to study teen driving laws, and some of these and recommendations are already being implemented. These are only just a few of his many accomplishments. He has been Freeholder Delina's and my running mate these past 4 years. I couldn't have run with 2 better people. I have great trust and confidence in Chris Rafano and his desire to perform his duty as Deputy Director of the Board of Chosen Freeholders to the best of his abilities, and will continue to serve all our citizens with dignity and respect. I know that our late Freeholder Director Craybill is smiling from heaven, as he also shared my trust in Chris. And Clerk Pemberton, I wish to place Chris Rafano into nomination for Deputy Director. Thank you.
As I stated earlier, board 10 months. And I got to know Chris Rafano when I was a councilman in Carteret, and he has been a tireless public servant. He's worked hard. He has made my 10 months on the Freeholder Board a lot easier. I have a lot of faith, trust. He's very inclusive. He's hardworking. He took me around the county for his committee of Law and Public Safety to introduce me to different things in county government. So I would like to second the nomination of Chris Rafano for Deputy Director.
A motion has been made and seconded to nominate Freeholder Christopher D. Rafano as Deputy Director of this board. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? I declare the nominations are closed. Call for election of the Deputy Director. Roll call vote.
Freeholder Barrett?
Yes.
Freeholder Polo?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director DeLina?
Yes. Okay. Christopher Rafano will be sworn in by Judge Nick Stromasis of the Superior Court, who will administer the vote for the Deputy Director to Christopher D. Rafano. Christopher, get up. Let's go.
Guy's got away with words. Are we having the Rafano family come up? Okay, Donna, his two sons, Bob and Ann, Mom and Dad. On a more serious note, hearing all this about your good, my good friend, Dave Craybill, one thing I want to share with you. If David were of Greek heritage, which I am, we would say about him 3 times, may his memory be eternal, may his memory be eternal, may his memory be eternal. Now, on a more lighter note, I am also a lucky charm, in a sense, all right, just like Judge Rockoff. My lucky charm is this tie that I wear each time I swear this new deputy director, new deputy director in. So I promised I'll put it away again so it doesn't get messed up, so we can hopefully use it and never lose it. I may share it with you someday. But you want to come up and we'll start this, okay?
18.
All right, Chris, if you would repeat after me. I, Christopher D. Rafano,
I, Christopher D. Rafano,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
under
the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of Deputy Director of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders,
all of the duties of the office of the Deputy Director of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, congratulations.
Okay, then we'll go with this one. Right? Huh? You don't want to say that? You want to do 18, all right? Okay, we will now have discussions by any freeholder on any item listed on the agenda? Would any freeholder like to talk about anything on the agenda? None? Okay. I will open to the floor to the public for discussion of any item listed on the agenda. Anybody from the public would like to speak? I recognize Deputy Director Rafano for a motion to close the public discussion.
Motion to close.
Second.
Okay. Recognize for Freeholder Valenti to second the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. Does any freeholder wish to remove any resolutions from the consent agenda and vote them separately? Mr. Council, would you like to read the motion?
Yes, Freeholder Director, a motion would be in order to adopt the consent agenda consisting of resolution numbers 09-01 through resolution 09-44.
Okay. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Freeholder Barrett?
Yes.
Freeholder Polo?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
You don't need that, right?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Dolina?
Yes. I will ask Margaret Pemberton, the clerk of the board, to read the list of committee appointments by the director.
Freeholder Committee of Administration and Finance, Freeholder Christopher Rafano, Chairperson, Mildred Scott, Member. Freeholder Committee of Engineering and Planning, Freeholder Carol Barrett, Chairperson, Freeholder Christopher Rafano, Member. Freeholder Committee of Human Services and Aging, Freeholder Blanquita Valenti, Chairperson, Stephen J. Dolina, Member. Freeholder Committee of Law and Public Safety, Freeholder Mildred Scott, Chairperson, Freeholder H. James Polos, Member. Freeholder Committee of Parks and Recreation, Freeholder Director Stephen J. Dolina, Chairperson, Freeholder Ronald Rios, Member. Freeholder Committee of Public Health and Education, Freeholder Ronald Rios, Chairperson, Freeholder Blanquita Valenti, Member. Freeholder Committee of Public Works and Transportation, Freeholder H. James Polos, Chairperson, Freeholder Carol Barrett, Member.
Okay, Margaret? Yeah. Okay. At this time, I will recognize Deputy Director Christopher Rafano to go to the podium. We're going to go down here.
The Middlesex County we know today, and the one that will be realized in the future, would have been quite different if it were not for the leadership and the vision of our friend and colleague, Freeholder Director David B. Crabule. In recognition of his accomplishments, the Board of Chosen Freeholders has put together a tribute that only scratches the surface of the life he has led, the friends and family he cared for, and the county that he loved. Though we cannot capture all that he meant to this county, we felt it was important to reflect on the many accomplishments he achieved. As we look to the future, we know that his legacy will continue to live on in the programs, services, and projects that were shaped during his years on the Board of Chosen Freeholders. Today, we celebrate Freeholder Director David B. Crabule's life in the only way we really can appreciate, in his own words. Ladies and gentlemen, we honor our friend Dave with this tribute. Thank you.
When he gives everything that's in him to the job that he has before him, that's all you can ask of him.
For anyone who knew or met David B. Craybill, the words of Harry S. Truman, Dave's political idol, capture perfectly the character of Middlesex County's head cheerleader and its strongest advocate. For almost 50 years, Dave tapped his boundless energy and determination to serve the people.
It is well that all of us from time to time pause to reflect upon the fact that we exist as a government for the exclusive purpose of doing for people what they cannot efficiently do for themselves.
Dave was known far and wide for his budgetary prowess, for his expansive knowledge of Middlesex County, and, of course, that booming voice, which was silenced on December the 1st. Born and raised in the borough of Milltown and a proud graduate of New Brunswick High School, Dave got his first taste of public service at the age of 16 as the youngest member of the Milltown Rescue Squad. He set up shop and raised his own family in the greatest little town in the land. He soon followed his father and brother into elected office by winning a seat on the Milltown Borough Council in 1960. He was elected mayor of the town he loved in 1967. 9 years later, Dave was appointed to the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders. He would be elected and re-elected to that post over the next 30 years. His campaign schedule was the stuff of legend. He'd be up at 5 a.m. to greet commuters heading into work. He shook tens of thousands of hands. He never missed a ribbon-cutting, groundbreaking, or rally, and yet he still carved out time each afternoon for a bubble bath. He'd end the day late with a hearty meal, a scotch or two, and a big bowl of ice cream. He applied the same work ethic when serving as freeholder director in 1994, 95, and from 98 until last month. His temper, which also took on legendary status, underscored the passion he had for his job and for the people of Middlesex County. As he said in his first director's message back in 1994, "I love county government, I love Middlesex County government, and I love the county where I was born and raised, where we have raised our family, where I have had the opportunity to participate in the public sector, where, working with my colleagues over the years, I have been able to help make the quality of life better for all of us and for all who will follow us." David B. Crabill's commitment to the people and his vision for Middlesex County will live on in the programs, services, and communities he helped shape as freeholder director. What better way to celebrate this man and his accomplishments than at one of his favorite events, the county reorganization meeting, and in his own words.
Distinguished freeholder colleagues, reverend clergy, members of the judiciary, other elected officials, and citizens, one and all, and let's hear it for Middlesex County, the greatest county in the land. Once again, this time for the 11th year, it is my high honor and privilege to welcome you to the reorganization ceremonies of the Middlesex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, the greatest board anywhere in this world. While I certainly do not put myself in the category of the great Greek philosopher Socrates, as I begin these remarks, I am reminded of the great lessons often attributed to the great philosopher. A teacher once asked a student to sum up Socrates' life in 4 lines. This is what the young student said. 1, Socrates lived long ago. 2, Socrates was very intelligent. 3, Socrates gave long speeches. 4, his friends poisoned him. I want you to know that I enjoy my life. I enjoy being a freeholder, and to avoid being poisoned, I plan to keep these remarks reasonably brief. Reasonably. We work hard to enhance the quality of life for all the citizens of our county. This commitment emerges when we look at the many assets our county provides, such as parks, recreational programs, Middlesex County College, our VOTEC school system, a continuing program of infrastructure improvements, and our commitment to neighborhood enhancement. And some of our continuing aspirations to improve the quality of life for the 702,458 citizens of Middlesex County, the greatest county in the land. We are proud of our record, and we are particularly proud of the fact that unlike any other county in the state, we have actually cut the county property tax levy for 5 consecutive years. And I am proud to announce it is our intention to cut the levy for the 6th consecutive year in a row with the budget we will introduce shortly. Construction of our new county administration building. We will soon begin construction of the new Middlesex County Family Court. We will build a new vocational and technical high school in Perth Amboy, and we will construct the Academy for Mathematics, Science, and Engineering Technologies on the campus of Middlesex County College. New facility for the medical examiner. New facility constructed or leased for the county extension service. And again, in cooperation with Somerset County, we have opened our new youth detention facility in North Brunswick. The MCIA, the Middlesex County Improvement Authority, will soon complete the purchase of the Princeton Meadows Golf Course in Plainsboro, which will be called the Meadows at Middlesex. And in the fall of 1999, we anticipate the completion of the new golf facility in Piscataway. We dedicated the new Alvin P. Williams Memorial Park at Seawarren Peninsula in October. Made major improvements at Donaldson Park, Raritan Bay Waterfront Park. Continue the cleanup of the Raritan River, a major dream of mine, including the Nashville Lake property in Saraville. We have the best recycling program in the state, ranked #1 in New Jersey with 64.1% of the waste stream recycled. Middlesex County Veterans Monument will be designed and constructed by Veterans Day 2001, and the fountain in Roosevelt Park will be restored. I would like to see an ice skating rink for recreational skating. In September, we dedicated the level playing fields of Middlesex County, the first athletic complex in the nation specifically designed to be barrier-free, providing athletes with disabilities. The acquisition of additional open space is good public policy. We expanded our inventory as preserved open space to 6,068 acres. The county has also acquired the development rights to 3,483 acres of farmland. We pledge today that we will once again reduce the equalized county property tax rate for the 10th consecutive year. We have the opportunity to make Middlesex County the technology center of the United States. We will intensify our entry into the computer age by establishing an integrated law enforcement system to enhance the operation of the Sheriff's Department and the Prosecutor's Office. During 2001, we will begin to place computers in classrooms throughout the county as part of the 10-2000 program. We are second to none in human services. Our goal is for our county college to become the premier nursing and health education facility in New Jersey, and that's good news for our people. Our present goal would be to replace the existing former tuberculosis hospital with at least 2 brand new 180-bed extended care facilities. I am proposing that the existing Division of Aging be elevated to the status of a department to ensure that county government will focus in the future on the needs of our senior population. We have formed our own Department of Transportation, bringing under one roof our AWATs. We continue to maintain our county's AAA bond rating. Our goal continues to be that Middlesex County will live within its means. While our debt service is up, so is our growth in rateable. We do pledge to reduce the equalized property tax rate in our county again this year. Let us remember that as a society, we will be judged not by the manner in which we serve those with the most, but by how we serve those in the most need. You demand and expect unqualified integrity and the highest standards of ethical government, and you will have it. You demand and expect the highest quality of county services at a cost we can all afford, and you will have it. You demand and expect to be safe in your neighborhoods, to enjoy your parks and playgrounds and quality services for our young people and for our senior citizens, and you will have it. You will have all these things and more as my colleagues and I begin a new year of work as freeholders. Once again, Mary joins me in extending the very best wishes of the season to all of you. We do so with the prayer that the eternal God continues to bless us, one and all. Thank you. Happy New Year. And always remember, Middlesex County is the greatest county in the land. Thank you. That working together, we will again establish and reestablish Middlesex County as the greatest county in the land. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you very much. Middlesex County, the greatest county in the land. We meet again 1 year from now. We will be able to look back with pride upon a year of progress and a year when Middlesex County, the greatest county in the land, does in fact work for its people. Thank you very much.
Polis is going to the podium. Okay. At this time, I will ask Freeholder Polis to go to the podium, please.
Back in the fall of 2003, I sent a memo to the Freeholder Director with a list of a few ideas on it. I would do this from time to time when I had an idea, particularly if it wasn't in my specialized area. I would send him a list of suggestions and tell him, when you have time, we'll talk about it. Every once in a while, and some of you I'm sure have had this opportunity, over the years, I would get summoned to Milltown. I received a call one morning and I was told, can you come by tomorrow at 9 o'clock? I knew that when I got there, I would be treated to not only great sweets and donuts, but also the strongest coffee in Middlesex County. It took me a few years, Mary, to realize that when Dave made coffee in the morning in that percolator pot, he used a quotient of 1/2 pound of coffee to 1 cup of water. So I knew when I was there I would be up at least for the next 2 or 3 days after that morning meeting. But of course I went there happily. He wanted to talk about the memo that I had sent to him. And we all knew, and I'm sure my colleagues will agree, and this is not in any way said to, as a slant to Walt D'Angelo, but we all knew that when we asked Dave something, if he liked it, he would jump on it and either tell you yes or no. And if he wasn't sure, he would say, I'm going to refer it to the county administrator. That meant it was going to die on the vine. So when I got there that morning, there were a few items on there that were going to be relegated to the county administrator, and I was fine with that. But one of the items on that memo was a suggestion that the county, given how progressive we are in Middlesex County, should think about having a new slogan and a new logo for our county. And Dave thought about it for a minute. He said, that's interesting. I said, well, you know, if you look at Camden County, they have some pretty exciting graphics and kind of an exciting, catchy phrase. Woodbridge, mayor has Woodbridge Works for years. That was a catchy phrase. There's lots of ways that we can make Middlesex County really kind of come into the 90s. And only as you can expect, Dave kind of sat and thought about it for a second. And I said, in fact, Dave, I said, and I'm saying this, I said, I think that the slogan should be Middlesex County, the greatest county in the land. Well, he abruptly said, only as he could say, Craybill didn't say that. And I said, no, that's right, Dave, you didn't say that. I said that because I think that it would be great to have that happen. I said, in fact, one of the things that I think would be wonderful, and this came through discussions with him, is maybe we can get the school children in our county involved in coming up with an idea for a logo to hopefully go along with that slogan. Although if you'd like to open it up to new slogan ideas, we certainly can do that. But I certainly impressed upon him that that slogan had become the slogan, the de facto slogan for our county. Well, at the time, he said, we will work on it, and in fact, I think it was in 2004, he included it in his State of the County address, that it was something that the county was going to work on, creating a new logo and slogan. And I was pleased to hear that it had his support. And unfortunately, as county government can be, we get involved in so many other major issues. This was one that just kind of fell by the wayside, not certainly purposefully, but just as a result of having other, candidly, at that time, more important things to do. I share it with you because I want you to know that there's some history to that thought, and that Dave was a part of that thought process, and Dave supported that concept. But more recently, I was asked by my colleagues and John and Tom to come up and talk about what the resolution is about tonight. And this past week, I was on vacation with my children, and when we returned, we went to Manhattan to go see the tree. And for those of you who have ever traveled there, if you've gone to the top of the rock, the top of Rockefeller Center, you sit up on the 69th floor and you're able to look out over the entire city of New York. It's a wonderful, wonderful view. Very exciting for the kids. But as we were walking to this outdoor area, there is a quote up on the wall by Henry David Thoreau. And it says, it's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see. And I was very struck by that. We went out onto the outside portion of the 69th floor and we looked out over New York. And I asked the kids, I said, what do you see? Well, being 10, 7, and 5, they looked out and they said, I see the Empire State Building. We had a little book that could show you the buildings. And I see this and I see that. And then my daughter, Nicolette, said, well, what do you see, Dad? And I said, well, I see a little more than that. I see people going to work. And they looked and they said, I don't see that. I said, we have to look hard. And I said, and I also see people who wish that they could go to work. And I see people in their houses and people who wish that they had houses. And people who are eating and people who wish that they were eating. And Nicolette looked at me and she said, you can see all of that? I said, you can see what you want to if you just don't look. And I said, let's go read the quote again. And we did. And we came out and they looked and then they started to see their own things. And at that moment in time, I realized that tonight, when I was asked to present this resolution about Middlesex County being the greatest county in the land, I realized one thing. That quote really spoke about what Dave Craybill thought about Middlesex County. You see, good government can look at things and problems and take actions, but great government takes it a step further. Good government can look at the elderly and the frail and families in need and create programs. But great government has a Department of Human Services and a Department of Aging that looks into the faces and sees the faces and eyes of those who need, and sees the children who are hungry and the families who are in despair and the elderly and frail that need help, and they provide service. Good county government can have public safety and provide adequate funding. But great county government can go beyond that. They can see that even though those people perhaps have created crimes, they're part of families too. They realize that even though they may be incarcerated or be involved in some way, shape, or form in something that's outside of the norm, they're also human beings. And so we provide training and education in our county corrections facility, and a beautiful place for children to recreate at our family courts, because it's a difficult thing to go through. And we also make sure that our police officers and volunteers, first aid and fire, have the best equipment and the best training possible. That's what we see, and that's what makes Middlesex County great. And probably some counties can try to control sprawl and development, but in Middlesex County, we see it differently. We see it as open space preservation, and really an unprecedented opportunity for people to be able to access natural habitats and recreational opportunities and preserve historical important buildings and programs. So there are differences in what county government can do and what great county government can do. And we do it because we see it through the eyes of the people that work for this great government. And that's what Dave saw each and every day. Dave never coined the phrase, Middlesex County, greatest county in the land, because it sounded good. He used that phrase because he believed in what it stood for. That we are the greatest because we have the greatest people who look beyond and actually see what needs to be done. They see the opportunities and the needs of the people of this great county. And as he said in his own words just a moment ago, government is here to help those who can't help themselves. So they could see, if they were on the 69th floor, the same thing I saw. And they could see the need, and they can see the resolution and the opportunity, and they could see the programs that need to make Middlesex County so great. So we've been very fortunate over the years that Dave used that phrase, but I think that it really has a much more serious meaning than maybe we first thought of. And probably, certainly, and I say this truthfully, certainly a much deeper meaning than I thought it did back in 2004. So I would like to ask Margaret or Stacy. This is the new logo that will be presented to Middlesex County. I'm going to ask Tom in just a moment to read the resolution, but I would ask you to just remember one thing, that Dave came to the county office each day, and he certainly did that each day, not to look at what had to be done, but to see what should be done. That's the difference between good government and the greatest government in the land. Director?
Mr. Council will read the proposed resolution.
Resolution 09-45, entitled Adopt Middlesex County, the greatest county in the land, as the official slogan of Middlesex County. Whereas the late David B. Craybill served as Middlesex County freeholder for over 28 years, 13 of which were as freeholder director. And whereas David B. Craybill loved being a freeholder, enjoyed working with his colleagues, shook thousands of hands, and loved serving all the residents of Middlesex County, to which he dedicated his life. And whereas in his many speeches throughout his tenure on the Freeholder Board, Freeholder Director David B. Craybill always ended his comments with one phrase for which he will always be remembered: Middlesex County, the greatest county in the land. Whereas this Board of Chosen Freeholders of Middlesex County strongly believes that the adoption of the phrase Middlesex County, the greatest county in the land, as the official slogan of Middlesex County would be a fitting tribute to honor the memory of David B. Craybill. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this Board of Chosen Freeholders of Middlesex County does hereby adopt Middlesex County, the greatest county in the land, as the official slogan of Middlesex County.
Okay, thank you. I will open the public portion of this resolution only. Anybody would like to speak on this resolution? I would like to have Christopher Fano.
Motion to close.
Motion to close, seconded by Ron Rios.
Second motion.
Okay, Ronnie, thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. I recognize Freeholder Paulus for the purpose of moving this resolution.
Thank you, Freeholder Director. Before I do that, I would like to share with you that this Freeholder Board has not only supported this initiative with great enthusiasm, but we have agreed to create a committee, and I'm very honored to be a part of that committee, along with my Freeholder colleague, Ron Rios, who chairs our Education Committee, as well as the Freeholder Director. This will be an ad hoc committee created by the Board to initiate this program in our schools throughout Middlesex County to develop a logo that will now go along with the new slogan for Middlesex County, and we think it'll be a very exciting opportunity for our students to use their creativity and come up with something that really defines what Middlesex County is all about. So I move the resolution.
Okay. I recognize Freeholder Barrett for the purpose of seconding the resolution.
It is my honor to second this resolution.
Madam Clerk, roll call.
Freeholder Barrett?
Yes.
Freeholder Paulos?
Yes.
Freeholder Rafano?
Yes.
Freeholder Rios?
Yes.
Freeholder Scott?
Yes.
Freeholder Valenti?
Yes.
Freeholder Director Delina?
Yes. At this time, I would like to have members of the Craybill family please come forward.
Freeholder Director, would you join me as well?
Me too? Mary, this is from the Freeholder Board. And to David, the greatest county in the land. And the greatest I go. David was a great guy. He was my best friend. He brought me up through politics. You always have to work with the people. God bless you. You've been a great wife, and I have to tell you, it's great to see this from Dave Craybill. This is going to be in the lobby of the county building. We try to get a bigger one, but...
No, the bigger one's going to the county.
The bigger one.
Yeah. All that ready for it. Over here, come on. You want to bring everybody here? Okay. Pull that. Brian, come in.
I listened to the Freeholder Director.
Everybody see it? It's going to be in the
big one is
main lobby in our administration building. Chris.
Oh,
Not this one.
Mr. K here, Alkachinkis. Just want to say those pictures are probably very true in the video. Poor Mr. K. Daddy was always screaming at him and about the finances. I just want to say a few words on behalf of Mary and I and the family. We want to once again thank all of you and the voters throughout Middlesex County. I did so good at the funeral. I'm not doing so good today. Throughout Middlesex County, who gave my father such a tremendous win this past November. I cannot speak for all the family, but I want everyone to know that Brian and I, at least, are very much at peace with my father's passing. He went out with a bang. He won by the biggest victory he ever had and was still freeholder director. He went out on top. And in the eyes of a politician, you couldn't have asked for anything more. Our family appreciates all of the county workers and department heads who came to his funeral services and all the elected officials who took time out of their busy schedules to come. And I do want to mention, because we kind of feel bad about this, but Congressman Rush Holt did come to the funeral, and every newspaper that covered the funeral never mentioned Congressman Holt, but he, along with Congressman Pallone, were at church. And last but not least, I need to mention my hometown of Milltown. And I believe some Milltown officials are here. I don't see anybody, but I'm sure they are. Even though in Piscataway, my father was always known as the second freeholder of Piscataway, Daddy loved Milltown with all his heart. He always tried to do the best for Milltown. He had been in every Milltown 4th of July parade since it started in the 1950s. He loved the parade, and many of you will remember that up until recently, he always walked the parade with that red velvet jacket on in July when it was like 100 degrees. Our family really appreciated all the Milltown elected officials and former councilmen who came to his funeral services and the ones that are here today. One sidebar, this is a little funny note, but one person in Milltown who had a Republican freeholder sign on their lawn said to me recently, "Who's going to fight for Milltown now that your father is gone?" I felt like saying, you should have thought about that before you put the sign up. But I didn't. I had to try a little class. And don't think we didn't know who had a sign on their lawn that were Republican freeholder signs. Being the good politician daughters that we are, Carol Lee and I rode around town and saw every house that had a sign against Crabeel, Scott, and Rios. And we're happy to mention that there were only about 6. And we're extremely pleased to say that neither Mayor Gloria Bradford nor the Republican chair in Milltown had any anti-Crabeel, Scott, Rios signs on their lawn. In closing, Mary and I and the family would like to congratulate Millie Scott and Ron Rios on the re-election with Daddy. We wish good luck to Carol Barrett, who will succeed Daddy on the board. And we wish extremely good luck to Freeholder Director Stephen Pete Delina on tackling this job. And Pete, remember my father's motto, no snow days. And I saw that it might have been snowing today, and you know, my father used to say, if we could run a funeral in a blizzard, why should the county get off for 1 or 2 inches of snow? And we're also so glad that your speech wasn't like 14 pages long. That helped a lot, too. And finally, we'd like to say that we Crabeels don't cry. Okay. David B. Crabeel lived in the greatest little town in the greatest county in the land. Thank you.
Before you go, I want to just tell you, we have a Delina living now in Milltown. My great-granddaughter's living there. My granddaughter's living there.
That would make my father very happy.
I know. Well, all right, before we start with the introductions, I would like to recognize freeholder Camille Fernicola, who has been a freeholder for 18 years. Am I right, Camille? Where are you? Camille here. Give her a nice floor. Okay, a reception following this meeting will be held at the dining area in the building hosted by the Middlesex County Democratic Organization. We will have now, what do we got? We got the introductions. You got something? Oh, yeah. We have the elected officials, the introduction of elected. Okay. Okay. Who gave that? Okay. 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 Okay, the spouses of the freeholder, Mary Varga Crabeel. Mary, stand up. My wife, Eleanor Delina. Rita Polis here? Is Rita here? No. Donna Rafano. Mickey Rijos. And Richard Scott. President of the Middlesex County College, Joanne Perlis Morales, she here? Dr. Karen McLeod Agent, she here from the vocational school? Okay. Stand up, we didn't see it. Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, we got all the freeholders. The surrogate, Kevin J. Hoagland. The surrogate, let's give him a nice hand. Sheriff Joseph C. Spacuzzo. Deputy County Clerk Sandy Benny. Okay. Jane Z. Brady here?
Former freeholder.
Former freeholder. Jane and I served. Remember, Jane, how many years we served together, right? Tom Boylan. Tommy? Where's Tom? Dottie Powers. Dottie's here. Donald J. Wernick. Donald Wernick. Nope. Jim Phillips, the mayor of Old Bridge. Where's Jimmy? Vinnie Martino. I saw Vinnie here someplace. John J. Hoagland. Winnie Trevisano. He's this guy. Okay. Now, Camille Fernicola. Is Camille Fernicola here? Camille here? Yeah. Oh, come on, stand up, Camille. We'll save you the better the last part. Everybody knows who you are now, right? William Baroni, the Assemblyman from the 14th District. Okay. Assemblyman Wayne D'Angelo. He's over there. Senate Bob Smith. Assemblyman Upenda Chewalka. Is he here? Upenda? No? Senator Barbara Bono. Assemblyman Joseph Egan. All right, Joey's here. Assemblyman Patrick Dygnan. Assemblyman Peter Barnes III. Senator Joseph Vitelli. Assemblyman Patrick Dygnan. I got to go, okay. I want to make sure. Did I get him before? Yeah. All right, I want to make, because he told me I should call on him twice. Okay. Assemblyman John Wisniewski. Assemblyman Joseph Vaz. I don't think they're here. Huh? Okay. Mayors, Daniel Ryman. Robert Cedar from Dunellen. David Stahl, the new mayor of East Brunswick. David is here. Okay. June Choi from Edison. Nancy Martin, mayor of Helmetta. Merrill Franks from Highland Park. Tony Lamata, the mayor from Jamesburg. Tom Vahala from Metuchen. Tommy. Okay, Tommy. Gloria Branford from Milltown. Gloria here. Rich Pucci from the big town of Monroe. North Brunswick, New Brunswick, Jimmy Cahill. Jimmy's here, okay. Mac Warmick from North Brunswick. Okay. Jim Phillips from Old Bridge, he left already. I know Jimmy. Okay. Willa Diaz from Perth Amboy. Where's Willa? Brian Waller from the town of Piscataway. Peter Cantu from Plainsboro. Kenny O'Brien from Sayreville. John O'Leary from South Amboy. Jack there. Frank Gambatese from South Brunswick. Charlie Buchter from South Plainfield. Ray Eppinger from South River. Thomas Barlow from Spotswood. And last but not least, John McCormick from Woodbridge. Bill Neary's there, okay. Okay. We also have former Mayor Bill Neary is here. Bill? I'm sorry I missed you, Bill. I was leaving and she told me you're here. I'm glad you're here. And we have Seghetti from South River, former Mayor Seghetti from South River. Where is he at? Okay, is there any other mayors I forgot, or any other people that I missed? Any cousins of mine here? Nobody, all right. Okay, please stand as a group. All the people and the chairs and vice chairs, please stand as a group, please, so we give you a hand. All the council people of different towns, I know one is here, so I can't say anything else. Anybody would like to stand up? All the council people. Okay. Vice Chair Helen Gottlieb, she's here, Helen? Hi, Helen. ASME Local President 73, David Griffin. David, where are you? President of Middlesex County CIO, Wayne Martinak. Is he here? Wayne. Middlesex County Prosecutor. Everybody better watch out when he stands up. Bruce J. Kaplan. Bruce ain't here? No. County department heads, please stand as a group. Everybody here that's a department head in our county, stand up and deserve a nice applause. Come on. Come on, everybody. Come on, that's it. Let's give him a nice hand. Everybody that's here. Do we miss anybody? Oh. County Administrator, is he here, John Palomino? John, stand up. I know Tom Kelso, so he's been kicking me all night. Tom Kelso. And not the least, the clerk of the board, Margaret Pemberton. Let's give Margaret a nice hand. Okay, now we're going to have the Colonel D.B. Kelly pipe drum, who will play God Bless America. And let's all sing God Bless America for our country and for Dave Crabiel, all right? Come on. Where are they at? Church and Piscataway, who will give the benediction.
Y'all could give me a hand too. Let us pray. Eternal God, our Father, the giver of all good things, we pause first to give you thanks for your servant, David B. Crabiel, as he served as the ambassador here in Middlesex County. Now, as we take leave from this place, we pray your divine blessings upon Millie Scott, Carol Barrett, Ron Rios, as they join with Stephen Delina, new director, James Paulos, and Christopher Rafano, and Miss Valente. We pray, O God, that thou will empower them now as they continue to work the works while it's yet day. Give them wisdom, guidance, as they continue to make this the greatest county in the land. Now may the Lord bless thee and keep thee. May the Lord make his face shine upon thee. May the Lord lift his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. Now may the grace of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the love of God, the communion of his Holy Spirit, rest and abide with you now, hence, and forevermore. Shalom, assalamu alaikum, amen.
I recognize Deputy Director Rafano for the purpose of offering a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second, by Jimmy Paulus.
Second.
Second. Debatable, non-debatable. The meeting is adjourned. God bless you.